Ferrari, Lamborghini, Bugatti, Pagani, these names aren't just brands, they're legends, woven into the very identity of the nations they come from. Their badges alone command more respect and more value than some entire cars. They represent dreams, passion, and the pinnacle of automotive engineering. In India, unfortunately, cars have always been something else. Practical machines built for purpose and not for passion. But one man believed it could be different. He dared to dream that India too could have its own icon, a car that would stand tall alongside the giants of the world. Welcome to White Metal. This is the story of DC Avanti. DC Avanti was the brainchild of Dilip Chhabria, a name synonymous with automotive design in India. If you've admired quirky, customized versions of cars or seen futuristic concepts in Indian auto shows, chances are DC design was behind it. In early 2000s and 2010s, India's car market was booming. Yet, there was a glaring absence. No Indian car brand dared to create a true sports car. Dilip Chhabria, emboldened by the success of his design studio, envisioned filling that gap. The goal was ambitious: to build a homegrown sports car that Indians could aspire to own. Not just a fancy prototype for display, but a real road-legal sports car. The idea finally became a reality around 2010-2011. DC announced their plans publicly at the 2012 Auto Expo in New Delhi, unveiling the Avanti with much fanfare. It was sleek, low-slung, and aggressive. It looked like nothing else seen on Indian roads. For many Indians, it was love at first sight. The name Avanti, interestingly, means forward in Italian, a fitting title for what was supposed to be a leap forward for Indian automotive ambition. Now, building a sports car isn't just about wild styling, it's about performance, precision, and pedigree. And that's where things got a little complicated. The DC Avanti was based on a space frame chassis, meaning it had a steel tubular frame, not a monocoque structure like the more expensive sports cars. Its body panels were made of composite materials to keep the weight down, although in practice it wasn't exactly light. Under the hood, or rather behind the driver, in a mid-engine layout, sat a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sourced from Renault. The same basic engine found in cars like the Renault Koleos, tuned to produce about 250 horsepower. Transmission duties were handled by a 6-speed manual gearbox, and the suspension was custom developed using double wishbones at the front and rear. The DC Avanti promised 0 to 100 km per hour in under 7 seconds, with a top speed of around 200 km per hour. Respectable, but not mind-blowing, especially for a sports car. Manufacturing was set up at DC's facility in Talegaon near Pune, Maharashtra. The idea was low-volume, hand-assembled production, about 2,000 units annually. And challenges? Oh, there were plenty. Blending this car, or getting the approval of this car on Indian roads was tough. Creating an entirely new chassis and body in a country dominated by mass-market hatchbacks was even tougher. And then there was the issue of perception. Convincing people to spend upwards of 35 to 40 lakhs on a brand new Indian sports car without any racing pedigree, brand legacy, or proven reliability. But despite all of that, by 2015, the Avanti was officially launched and cars started trickling into showrooms. Initially, the reception was good. Car enthusiasts were excited, media outlets were cautiously optimistic. After all, this was historic. An Indian company daring to make a sports car. Photos of the Avanti on Indian roads went viral. The car's exotic looks turned heads everywhere. And in a sea of Marutis and Hyundais, an Avanti stood out like a UFO. But when the excitement wore off, reality finally set in. Critics pointed out that while the Avanti looked the part, it didn't quite drive like a true sports car. The engine, while adequate, lacked the raw urgency one expects from a performance machine. The interior, though sporty looking, felt plasticky and unfinished. Panel gaps were inconsistent and fit and finish were nowhere near European standards. Customers began noticing these issues too. Reports emerged of electrical glitches, mechanical failures, and worse, after-sales service nightmares. Some buyers complained of engine overheating, and others found that replacement parts took weeks, sometimes even months to arrive. Media reviews became harsher. Publications that initially praised the car's ambition now questioned its execution. Still, for a brief moment, the Avanti had its niche. A few hundred units found homes with passionate, patriotic buyers who believed in the dream. Unfortunately, the problems went far deeper than just a few mechanical glitches. Internally, DC Design was struggling. The company overpromised and underdelivered, both on the Avanti and a few other custom projects. Production numbers fell far short of targets, and financial pressure mounted. And then, in late 2020, the real bombshell dropped. Dileep Chhabria was arrested by Mumbai police on charges of serious financial fraud.
और मशहूर ऑटोमोबाइल डिजाइनर और डीसी डिजाइन के संस्थापक दिलीप छाबड़िया को मुंबई क्राइम ब्रांच की क्रिमिनल इंटेलिजेंस यूनिट ने जालसाजी और धोखाधड़ी के आरोप में गिरफ्तार किया है.
Investigations revealed a massive car loan scam involving the DC Avanti and other DC customized vehicles. So here's what happened. DC Design would manufacture a car, typically an Avanti, and then sell it, or pretend to sell it to multiple parties simultaneously. Each time, they would use forged documents to apply for separate loans from different banks and NBFCs. Essentially, the same car was being financed multiple times, often with fake registration numbers and fabricated ownership papers. Some vehicles were registered with different chassis numbers or duplicate documents in different states, creating a complex web of fraud. Authorities uncovered that over 90 such cases had been filed, involving amounts upward of 100 crores. Many unsuspecting customers ended up buying vehicles that were legally and financially compromised, technically tied up in loan disputes they had no idea about. Further investigations revealed the fraud had been going on for several years. Many senior employees, financiers, and outside agents were involved. The case embarrassed not just DC Design, but also exposed major flaws in India's vehicle registration and financing systems. The brand's reputation, already battered by Avanti's issues, collapsed overnight. Production ceased, dealerships shut, pending orders were abandoned. For Avanti owners, it was devastating. Their prized sports cars now became liabilities. With no support network, no spare parts, and a brand whose founder was embroiled in criminal proceedings, the DC Avanti project was officially dead. And yet, in a strange way, the Avanti still matters, because it represented something more than just a car. It was a symbol of ambition, of India's potential to dream bigger in the automotive space. Today, countries like Germany, Italy, and Japan dominate the world of sports cars and supercars. Their brands not only build fast cars, but also uplift national pride and engineering credibility. India deserves that too. We deserve sports cars that are not just designed for the showroom floor, but engineered to race, to thrill, and to inspire. The DC Avanti failed, but it failed because it put style over substance, shortcuts over engineering, and hype over heritage. Maybe one day, a new generation of Indian entrepreneurs, engineers, and enthusiasts will build a true Indian sports car. One that the world will admire not just for how it looks, but for how it drives, how it's built, and how it endures. Until then, the Avanti will remain a reminder that dreaming big is important, but execution, honesty, and passion, they matter even more. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next video.